Trendsetter, I got style.
It's only 8 a.m. I won't do it for the gram. I know I'm on a man. At my 2020, whoa, whoa. Woke up to deposits and it's only 8 a.m. Do it for the fam, I don't do it for the gram. Do it for my daughters, do it for my little man. That's my 2020, reason why I win. Lot of missed calls, looking bloody in my call log. I bet to myself, I'm not sorry that I logged dog. Check my mental health, I was feeling like a lost dog. Bounce back and wipe my paws off. Get it off the humble and I stick to what I know. Nights on top of nights, long nights took a toll. Took some steps back, but I still get up and I go. And now you know, I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Yeah, new Jeep, no doors with it. No, I won't stop now. Who you kidding? Kidding. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma send it. I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. Pressure on me daily, got the family on my back. Dreams are getting bigger, put the city on my map. Wrote inside my palm, but I'll try not to get attached. Moment that is here, could be over just like that. Fast car, no NASCAR. I was never working hard, I guess I'm mad smart. Top speed like a rocket, it was blast off. 6 figures from my couch without a mask on. Waited for my cycle like a laundry mat. Going to the moon, it's on top and that. 2 straight years of dropping back to back. Epidemic jumping like an acrobat. I'ma make some and I'ma spend it. Yeah, new Jeep, no doors with it. No, I won't stop now. Who you kidding? Kidding. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma send it. I'ma send it. Every day I wake up, I'ma send it. I'ma make some.
Good morning, chat. How are we doing? Yes, sir. Let's get it. Friday, nice Friday here. GJ is seems like it wants to break out. We'll see what GJ does. Hope we're all well. Couple of weeks going to Japan. Wow, Japan is a cool country. I want to go to Japan. Japan is definitely an interesting place. Hope we're all well. And yeah, let's get straight to it. Well, actually, I would prefer if a few more people came in because, yeah, there we go. Otherwise, they're going to start asking me, oh, what was the analysis? What was the analysis? We write the plan anyways, but, you know, we'll see if people are lazy today or not lazy. But they might miss out on a lot, right? So, we shall see. Of course, we start on the daily time frame. We see what happened on the daily here. Daily's closed bullish, still below this range, but remember this move was from news. What's important here is that the support we created here, and now we're closing this, and it's not a random bullish candle, it's quite a strong bullish candle. Only issue is today's Friday and we're going into the weekend, so you know, I normally see on Friday heavy moves, right? Ending the week very strong. And if we look at what the weekly candle is doing here, we are having this long rejection here on the weekly. So imagine the weekly candle flips today. That'll be pretty crazy to see the weekly candle flip, and will be definitely interesting if the weekly candle was to flip here. But in order for the weekly candle to flip, I think the first thing we will need is the daily candle to flip here, right? So if the daily candle does flip and start breaking the high, there's no reason as to why there shouldn't be any more upside here. There is a gap in the markets that's not showing on my feed in Xauusd, because Xauusd doesn't show gaps, but this zone here is actually a gap. If I show you on another broker here, this doesn't show it as well, but if you look at your brokerage, you'll see that this candle here is a gap at the daily open here. So there's actually some gaps here. This is not a clean candle, it's actually a gap. So even though it looks great to buy into this, and you know, it looks like a good spot to buy, I just want to be cautious about this gap and keep that into consideration before taking any buys. But you know, as always, we need to mark up our zone. So let's, you know, bring back the drawings and explain, you know, how the drawings are. So we have this daily resistance, 4-hour support that was a big zone here, and we can see we've closed just at the zone. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame is also closed at this zone, right? So remember when it was messy, I'm like, oh, I still want to keep the zone on because it has been really important. You can see how it's now translated to this zone and how it's become important. We have this 4-hour support. Until we close below this 4-hour support, sells don't even make sense. Really, sells don't make sense till we break back into the range, because we could find support anywhere above 161 and still remain bullish here after this big candle breakout. I was actually looking for long-term positions yesterday, and I really couldn't find a way in. You know, this 1-hour candle here was a bit tough. You know, this was a 160 pip 1-hour candle, right? 160 pip stop loss on that. You know, it's a bit tough to see what's going on. But going on to the 1-hour, that's the next time frame. We've created this range here, right, between 161 500 and between 162, and we're just stuck in this range. We're not breaking down, not breaking up, but my bias is bullish today. I do expect more upside here, so we'll basically have to see if we can look to take buys to either get to the top of the range, or we have the option to take buys as we break back into this zone here, right? So looking at the 30-minute, we are kind of was really low volume during Asian session. You can see pop up, come down, pop up, come down. Now we kind of pull back deeper, again rejecting the range highs. We have this clear type of resistance here, which is going to be our pre-session resistance right here, right? Why is that line like that? And we need to watch this resistance. I mean, above there makes sense, but the only problem is on my broker there's a gap. Not too comfortable buying into a gap. This is a gap on my broker here. So maybe we can even wait for above this high here, okay? As we get above this type of zone, right? Wait for closures above here, and we can see to buy into that. But yeah, definitely interesting, definitely some options here. Just gonna pull this up to here, and that's basically our resistance zone like this. So if we get above here, there's maybe an option to take buys, or we're gonna pull back. If we start breaking below 161 500, I'm personally not interested in sells after this bullish move. I don't mind it pulling back, but I'll actually be looking for buys, right, instead of being looking for sells, right? So that's basically what I would do instead. Having a look at gold, right? Gold has been stuck in this daily range. The daily has closed above. Previous daily has done nothing, so you just cancel that daily out. 4-hour, on the other hand, is in this range. 4 hours ranging now, right? We're ranging in between this range here. This is your 4-hour resistance, like this. Very, very simple. And if we're in a range, then you have to trade in a range, right? So obviously it's still bullish here, but we're ranging, and this is a massive range, right? This is a 200 pip range, so it's really tradable here. Preferably, I prefer buying from the bottom of the range because on higher time frame we're bullish, but you can see our sells from the top of the range made sense. If you get this type of change of structure that you see here, pulls up again, fails, then closes below, then you can look for sells on gold. So possibly closes below 1927 here. Anything closing below there, you can have a possibility to counter trend sell this. But as I said, I prefer to buy from the bottom of the range instead of sell from the top. But you know, it definitely can be an option here, right? It definitely can be an option. So yeah, that's the analysis. Pretty simple analysis. Now we just need to wait for the setups. And yeah, can you please break down your yesterday buy trade you shared in Telegram? Yeah, for sure. I can break that down. It's a pretty simple trade here. So as I said yesterday, we were obviously bearish, but I told you about this zone here, right? So if we go have a look at yesterday's price action, and we rewind this to basically when we were here, right? So we were here yesterday, and I said, okay, fine, there's this zone, but I'm not selling into this. This is a very dangerous zone to sell. If anything, I need to wait for below. But if you notice, all day we've been rejecting. So there is an opportunity to counter trend, buy this above here to get up to these highs at 161 and see what happens. Buying to this high is a little bit risky because you could get that, and that's what you don't want leading into London. But if we start holding supports above or start to break that zone, we can start to look for buys here, right? So I waited. We got this pullback in London. We rejected this first, and then we started to break above, right? Now this break above here could have also been an entry option here, but I wanted to see this zone be respected. Remember what I said? If you look at yesterday's stream and you look at yesterday's plan, I said I wanted this zone to be respected. We didn't respect it. We popped up, didn't even break the high, and came down. So I needed to see some sort of respect of the zone. So I waited for support to form and we rejected it, respected this area and reclosed above. I said if this next candle can wick down and flip, I'll take an entry. Wick down, made a flip and then tapped into TP, filling this clean zone, right? Zone to zone. Basically closing above this resistance here, right? And going to fill this clean zone we have here to the left, 29 pips. And basically running stop loss below this closed candle here, right? So just fill the zone, quite a simple trade. And yeah, that was basically the trade. And then basically it did continue a little bit higher afterwards. But I closed at the target here. I didn't hold that because that was not the plan. Ended up during the day breaking down and you know, got a heavier move down. But then look at the reaction from the move down. This is what I was talking about, resistance below. This was a great trade here if you're trading New York to take a short position like this. That was a perfect trade. That's exactly what I said about closing below this zone. If you look at yesterday's plan, you'll see exactly this, where I said to close below the zone, right? And then wait for resistance. That's your resistance. You can enter on there. Now you have confirmation, right? You can put your stop safe above here, and that's a nice target, right? So yeah, that's basically what happened yesterday, and that was the trade. Is that clear? If you guys enjoyed the analysis, appreciate if you hit that like button. Really helps the stream. Try get more people in here for today. All likes are always appreciated, you know, if you enjoyed the analysis. So on the brokerage from this 161,900 to 162 basically is a gap. So this is actually a gap on the broker right here. This is this candle here is a gap candle. So what we don't want to happen is we don't want to take buys and it fills this gap and then rejects. It's really what we don't want. So maybe to see support to continue buys, right? Thanks, Harry, for the analysis. My trading has been improved. You're welcome, man. I'm glad. Hopefully you also take some trades. That's the goal, right? So yeah, we'll write out the plan here. Plan is pretty simple today for me. That is plan bullish, looking for buys, gap above 162, gap at 161,900, or we're looking for support from. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to leave the plan like this. Just a simpler plan because there is an idea I have that if price ends up breaking down below here but then closing back into the range, I can also take buys to continue up. But I need to see what happens first. I'm not interested in selling just yet. And I think a lot of people will lose a lot of money trying to sell today. Well, I don't, maybe they'll get it right, but just selling too early, you need to see this type of stuff, right? That type of resistance is great. That'll help you a lot. If you get that resistance below, there's a counter trend. If we close below now and see this, right, which would be breaking the 4-hour low as well, and you see this pull back and continue, maybe there's a chance to counter trend to pull back to this zone. But understand that this pullback would be basically a setup for buys, right? If we pull back until we get below 161, we're still bullish postured, right? We have 4-hour support here, dailies close bullish, right? And this is textbook bullish posturing. If you guys have any questions, want me to look at anything here in the morning, let me know. We can have a look. at whatever you guys want to have a look at or have any questions. Come on, guys. Very quiet in the chat. What's going on? All week you guys have been quiet. You guys losing money or something? If you are, you have to speak up. You have to tell me why. Look at this guy Rolex. He asked for me to break down the trade that I took. It's a good question. It's how you're gonna learn, right? I'm no genius, brother. No genius. Just a normal retail trader. We have no news today. I did check in the morning. We have something a little bit later at 1 o'clock. Yeah, here I have this. This is not really too important here. USD a bit later on, doesn't really affect us. So yeah, pretty chill on the news side. Financial juice. Have a look at financial juice. See, will it load? There we go. Goldman Sachs believes the European Central remains tightening mode despite, yes, they do. Well, this was wrong. They did increase their interest rates by 0.5. Plans for gold. Gold is simple. Gold is in a range here. Buying at the top of the range is very, very risky. You need a strong closure outside of, I would say 1933, a 1 hour closing above 1933, and support to take buys, because this is the top of the range. Buys came from the bottom of the range. But if you want to counter trend trade the range, if this fails and closes below this zone here, there's an option to sell gold, but that's counter trend. I rather wait for this to pull back and take buys. But buying at the top of the range is not smart. Someone asked me about Ethereum. Ethereum for today, daily candle is closing bullish, but you know, still we're at this rejection zone here. 4 hour time frame though is closed quite nicely, but kind of at this resistance. If this starts breaking the high, of course we'll have continuation to the upside, but we want to kind of trade to the high. I'd say if we have anything closing above this resistance here at 17.15, we probably could see some more upside. Yeah, probably anywhere above these wicks here, we could probably start to see more upside. If not, we're gonna kind of, I think, range in between here and kind of flag out. That's what crypto likes to do. We are nervous about the banks. Next week, J. Powell speaks about the rates. Yeah, you probably, I think the banks are saying that they're going to keep rates the same. I mean, they're going to reduce the rates, make them less, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to continue with that. The banks have always been a problem. All banks are basically run a model that's a scam, right? If you did anything that a bank did in real life, you would be sent to jail. Right? If you lent money that you didn't have, you'd be sent to jail. If you printed money, you would be sent to jail. If you, what else do banks do? If they take risks that they can't afford to take, right? That's not, that they don't hold responsibility for, which they do, right? Then what does that happen? Then you'd be sent to jail, right? Because you'd be scamming. Right? And that's called moral hazard. You can search it. Do banks use moral hazard? And you can see it. They use it. Hello, regarding the off for setups entries in Discord, do you think you can find an example of setup 1 and setup 3? It seems like setup 1 will happen before setup 3. Yes, setup 1 will happen before setup 3. You are correct. An example of setup 1 would be... Let's have a look if we can find an example of setup 1. Right? This would be an example of setup 1. Coming into volume session. You have a resistance here. Price closes above the resistance. Target the next high. Point to point. Right? That's a setup example of setup number 1. That's another setup number 1. Price forms a range, closes above the range, target next resistance. Yesterday was a form of setup 1. The trade that was taken yesterday is setup number 1, right? You have a range, you close above that range, right? You enter at the break of the high, never broke the high, but when it does break the high, you get the entry and it takes you to the next resistance. This is a perfect setup number 1, right? Here's your range between here and here. Price closes below the range. You target the next low somewhere in this support zone here, right? That's a setup number 3. Close above. Too big to put a stop loss like this, right? That's a 39 pip stop. So you wait for support. Breaks the high, you can put your stop here. They get bailed out, we don't? Yeah, I hope they don't get bailed out. I mean, the government's printing a lot of money for no reason. Well, they are doing it for reason, but you know, it's just too loose. GU in a supply zone, take a look. Don't trade supply, but yeah, GU's at resistance. Actually, GU is quite nice to buy here yesterday. Look at that. Very simple buys on GU. What time is this? 4 o'clock yesterday, New York session, clean buys. Look at this. 1 hour close above. This is nice. Stop loss below there. Look, 11 pip stop. Man. Yeah, that's nice. Now we're at target. You can't do anything on GU at the moment. You need to wait for pullbacks like this to continue. Or you need to wait for closes above 1.21599. The FDIC insurance for banks and the SDIC insurance for brokers. Everyone, please check you're covered with your broker. Yes. Most brokers won't be covered if something happens with the banks, because they are operating offshore. But these small offshore banks shouldn't be affected too much. But you know, they all operate like this, right? They all operate on the edge. From the 26th, I think the streams will get more exciting. We'll get more bigger moves, bigger opportunities. So it will be good. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you want to see more of in the stream. Any videos you want to see, what the stream is missing, because that's what's important here, right? I'm doing this to also help you guys, so I need feedback from you guys. What do you guys want to see more of in the stream, and I'll look to implement that, right? Let's see what we would do. This gap sucks. Thing that's helped you the most is watching people trade. Yeah, that would help. Only problem is that their entry setups might be a bit modified when they're on live stream. Off of live stream, they might do different things, take more complex entries. But you should be concentrating mostly on their process. What's their process of taking a trade? The actual point of taking a trade is very simple. You just have to press a button when a certain thing happens. But the whole lead up to planning how to take the trade and stuff like that, that's more important. Right? The plan behind the trade. Because once you have the plan behind the trade, it's only about waiting for it and then pressing the button. Becomes simple. Hello, David. Welcome back. What's Dixie doing in all of this? Interested? Dumping? What if this is one big monthly bottom wick? Very interesting. I didn't know you did live trades. Nice. Yes, we do lives every morning, brother. We live, we plan. How do you think people are taking all the trades in the Telegram? They're taking the plans. Coming and taking the plans. The stream is perfect. Maybe a super chat so we can send you gratitude. Nah, man, I don't need that. Is there a rule for super chat? Let me have a look. I don't even know how to turn on super chat. Am I in the UK? No, I'm in Dubai, brother. I'm in Dubai. Euro USD target 1.07. Let's have a look. I think you have to worry about 1.0663 to begin with. Yeah, you have to wait for 1.0663 first before I think that's a target, but it's a big move already, right? So you can expect pullback. This has been a big move, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this do this before this. You're in Mexico. It's a good stream. It's 1 a.m. Appreciate you showing up, brother. Dedication. Man's dedicated. Damn, you're lucky. Why? Where are you? Are you in the UK? Just seeing how big the range is in here. If we could trade it. What do you think about volume profile? I use it to find my targets. I don't personally use it. My targets are based on structure. Because structure shows you where there's... It's easy to see where there's volume, right? Volume will be around where structure is formed. Thanks so much from Somalia. Welcome, welcome. Now I'm in the US, but Dubai seems super dope. Nice, man. Yeah, Dubai's not bad, man. Dubai's not bad. US has a lot going on there as well, right? I mean, you can't complain. But yeah, Dubai is good, man. I think your strategy is candle reading like Raja Bank's. No, not exactly. Raja Bank trades above resistance and below support. But he trades price action, I trade price action, so there'll be similarities, for sure. It's like when two guys go to the gym, right? You don't see someone in the gym working out completely different than anyone else. And that's the biggest mistake people make in trading, right? Is that they expect every single person to have a completely new strategy, a new form of trading, when it's not true. If you go to the gym and you see a guy doing a bench press with his feet, you're going to be like, what is this guy doing, brother? Like, come on. Why is he bench pressing with his feet? But if you see 5 guys doing the same bench press, you're not going to go to that guy and say, oh, you're copying him. You're copying his bench press. Why are you copying him? You should have your own strategy. You copy this guy. No, it doesn't make sense. He might have a slight different technique. He might feel it different. But it's a good thing when traders are looking at the same thing in the market. That's a positive. So you can't go around telling people that, oh, you should have a different strategy in the markets. No. If you trade price action, you're going to be similar to all price action traders. If you trade supply and demand, you're going to be similar to all supply and demand traders. It's how it works, right? I took GBP AUD long off the bottom and I'm in profits, but was an intelligent trade. Just took it because it was a double bottom on the 1 hour. We can have a look at GA. Do I have GA on here? Yes, I do. Daily. Alright, first of all, your mistake is the daily is bullish, so you're bearish, so you're buying a bearish candle. Not very smart. You're buying also a bearish 4-hour candle. So this is known as bad profits, right? Because this is something you can't replicate in the future. Why can't you replicate this in the future? Because these are two things. Like, for example, if I was to tell you that you're a betting man and you have to put $10,000 on price going down or going up, and you had 2 bearish candles, what would you say? Price is more likely to obviously go down. So trying to take these trades here is not really the best idea. You rather wait for sells on this, to be honest, and I wouldn't be surprised if this starts creating resistance to sell back down, right? So taking these type of trades is super risky, right? And I won't recommend it. If the 4-hour candle is bearish and the daily candle is also bearish, should be looking for sells, not looking to buy it. I see, thanks, price action is the best. I think it's a very good way to trade the markets as a retail trader. Keeps things simple, it's profitable, and very easy to pick up and progress. The most important, how quickly can you progress on something, right? That's what people fail to understand. So I think it is definitely beneficial. So GJ rejected from the bottom. That's what I said, we're stuck in this range. This range is a little bit small, only a 15 pip range. But right from the bottom of the range is around 25 pips. But it's very hard just to buy a wick. Buying a wick is possible, but you really have to trust your analysis. I mean, there is a way we can buy a wick, but I'm not gonna probably, if you guys want me to teach you how to buy a wick, it's possible, but it's a very simple concept and it's only based on an analysis, right? But you don't do it much. You just do it if you really trust your plan. But again, you're holding wider stops. So it doesn't make your stops smaller. It just makes an entry at a better place. But the stops stay the same. And that's what the important part is. What determines bullish and bearish candles? Yeah, man. I think that should be a pretty self-explanatory question. What determines a bullish candle is if it goes up. And what determines a bearish candle if it goes down. I think that's very basic part of the markets and definitely something you should understand, right? If it goes up in price and close green, for example, on my chart, or it basically opened and closed higher than it is, it's a bullish candle. If it closed lower than it opened, it's a bearish candle. So GJ, we are looking for sells today since daily and 4-hour is indicating... No, there's no 4-hour daily is bullish on GJ. Right? Look at this. Previous daily closed bullish. Right? Previous daily is bullish. And previous 4 hours also bullish. So we're not looking for sells. Right? Everything's bullish here. Not the current, the previous. You have to look at the previous. Bitcoin pumping. Check this out. Breaking out Bitcoin here. Big pump. Trying to fill this wick. We'll see if we can break the wick. What do we have on 4 hour? Yeah, we're just trying to break above this 4 hour resistance. That's a nice clean trade up to that 4 hour resistance. Now we'll see what happens. Can we close above or are we going to reject? How important are big volume candles? That's depends on the scenario. What do you mean, how important are they? Important in what terms? To trade or not to trade? That's you know. How important are they to trade? I mean, they're not... You want to be in that candle, right? You want to be part of that candle. You don't want to be trading after that type of candle. Or you want to use them in the future, right? So if we have a big volume candle like this, and let's say we were looking for sells, we want to trade in between that zone because it gives us a nice zone to trade in. I'm long Blur USDT. I am greedy. Not sure what that is. Thanks once again. Before I was looking at the current candle and daily. Yes, you need to look at previous. That rule of thumb that both daily and 4 hour needs to be bearish for a sell. Yes, it is a rule of thumb. Not a rule of thumb that if it's not, you can't take sells. But that's how it develops a session bias. We'll cover that together, man. Don't worry. But that's what determines a session bias, right? Is you're looking... What makes sense in your session from previous daily and 4 hour candles. Alright, give me a sec, I'll be back. Just going to the toilet. 1 second. Thanks, Harry. I really enjoy your sessions. Just started following a week ago. Amazing. Welcome. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate all of the support. Really does help. More people I can give this knowledge to, the more people can, not get so messed up in the market, because that's the goal. I want less people to struggle in the markets, and actually make this something beneficial from them, not cause them more stress. I definitely went through a lot of times of stress, still do at times, but I want to reduce that as much as possible. Right, and the only way you're going to do that is from learning the boring stuff and learning how to trade properly. How much do we trust this zone here, right? If we held stops below here, 18 pips, how much do we trust this zone? Because, if this 15 closes bullish here, right, it's rejected all morning. So if this 15 closed bullish, there's a chance we could just take a buy, put stops below the zone and wait. And see if the zone holds. If the zone breaks, we're obviously wrong. But essentially, we're taking a 4-hour trade, right? 4-hour has closed at support. Right, we're putting stops below the previous 4-hour low and expecting price to continue up. Definitely a possibility here. Something I might populate. When do I have stress in trading? When increasing risk. Right, you always stress yourself out when increasing risk, but that's a normal part of the game. I like this close here. I like it. This would be more of a swing, not swing, but you'd hold this for the rest of the day. Put stops below here and you just trust the zone. It's a very risky trade. It's just something like, do you trust your analysis for today? Do you trust this daily to flip? Definitely a trade you hold a lot of drawdown here. If it works out, it could be a good one though. Yeah, we'll have to see. I always get wrecked. Would setup 2 apply to G? It applies to everything, man. Yeah, this would be like a setup 2, but inside the range, right? Would be a setup 2 inside the range. Which is always risky, right? And the range is very small and messy. The only issue here is you get stuck in the range the whole day. It doesn't get to the top of the range. You just end up ranging the whole day. Which is the problem. You kind of have to hold stops below here. Something like that. And trust that this plays out for the rest of the day. Right? And just trust this zone holds. You're kind of relying on volume to come in. It's a tough trade. But if am I back? Happened. Let me know in the chat if I'm back. I just got a notification that my OBS system has crashed. So am I back? If not, hopefully the stream is still okay. Let me know in the chat. Seems like it's still okay. I'm back. Nice. Nice, nice. Good. Good, good. Yes, it's okay. Okay, that's good. That is good. Cute girl. What is your opinion on gold? Will it go up or down for the coming week? Yeah, that's a good question. I like that for the coming week. I'm glad you didn't ask me today. If this weekly candle closes above this 4-hour resistance here, you know, it does make sense to continue up. But you have to remember, most of this move was caused by news here, right? A lot of this move was caused by news. So at some point, this is going to pull back, and it's going to pull back heavy. You can expect it. So until we start breaking above here, there's no continuation. So once we start closing above this 4-hour resistance, yeah, there's going to be continuation here. But sells don't make sense at the moment. So, you know, we are bullish. Everything makes sense for buys at the moment, right? I'm thinking about this, guys, here too. See if this zone will hold, but it's just a little bit early. 49. Because if this was a Monday, I would try hold this position for the rest of the week. Let's have a look. We shall see. We shall see. Sometimes I scale into my plan lot size, my position, by getting within 1 to 3. Yeah, the problem is that sometimes if it goes without you, you miss the whole trade. Right? So I rather just go with my full lot size in one position. And then if I really trust my position, I can add extra risk if you can afford it. I mean, that's more advanced. I don't really want to get into that, but to develop bad habits for most of you. But for a lot of you, just entering most of your position at one spot can be better. Thank you so much, brother. Welcome. If you guys enjoying the stream, let me know. Leave a like by letting me know. I appreciate all likes, all support. It really does help. And always appreciate you guys showing up. It's great to have you here. Great to answer your questions. And it's great when we don't take a trade and now we're not holding drawdown. That's also great. Also, if I do take a trade, I will put it on the screen by the way, guys. You know, so I'm not gonna... I will announce before, right? So whoever's here will understand how this will work. I'll announce before, maybe when I'm potentially taking a trade. And then if I say that that's my plan, then that's my plan, right? And then I'll execute on it. I'm not going to give you a signal and say I'm pressing the button right now, but you guys will understand the gist. So 1 hour close is going to be interesting here. It's just a very tough zone here. It's very tough. Give me 1 sec, just have a phone call here. Need to make 1 second. Sorry about that. How did you come into this trading line? I started in crypto. And yeah, when I was in crypto, I was investing in crypto. So I was looking for, you know, basically just investing. And that was his VI. No, I was calling the broker, brother. I was calling the broker. I was telling the broker, listen, we're ranging a bit right now, and I need price to start doing some action here. If I don't see some action, it's a bit boring. I have, you know, people here on the stream. We want to see some action, so it was no, it was not. No, I have a delivery, and I just told them to leave it outside. That's all it was. Yeah, so basically I was in crypto and I realized, okay, I'm investing in crypto, but when price goes down, I lose money. How can I do something that, you know, allows me, because when you invest and you put your money in, you're just waiting. There's nothing you can do. So I found trading, because trading, you could do something daily, right? You're day trading. You're not just waiting for your investment. You actually actively can do something. BTC been pumping 37 hours straight. Building liquidity below structure looks weird. News, man, people not really trusting what's going on with the banks, and they're putting money into Bitcoin. So yeah, setting up for a short, I wouldn't try short. You're trying to catch a moving train, right? You're trying to stop a moving train. Let it stop, let it show you that it wants to move the other way, and then consider taking positions, right? Well, it's everyone whose money is not every single bank is stuck, bro. Not every single bank. So people who have money in banks, they maybe want to put a bit in crypto. That's why, you know, it's not only the banks that were stuck. And also they're being insured. They're gonna be insured, so. No, I mean, you can't short once it touches 27k. That doesn't make sense. Wait for price to show you that shorts make sense. Then you can short. That's how it works. How will it show? It will create resistance. You'll see daily candles close bearish. 4 hours start to change structure to the downside. Maybe that starts to indicate. Weekly candle close bearish. That is what going to indicate that downside makes sense. How did you learn all of this? Do you join any courses? No, I have not joined any courses. Honestly, I've never bought a course. I did learn from various sources, right? Various people. If you want me to break them down, I can. But yeah. I quit my job to start full-time trading. Any advice? I hope you have good savings, because it's very stressful to full-time trade. I think you need to make sure that you have secure sources of income, so that when you do go through tough times, you can manage them, right? It's very important to be able to manage those tough times, right? So I would say just stick to your plan, be disciplined, and don't try push the limits too hard, right? Otherwise you'll fall very hard. Any good book to read? I've not read a trading book. Everyone seems to like Trading in the Zone. That seems to be the most popular trading book. How do I know if my plan is even close to being correct? You have to backtest it, man. You have to go backtest the charts and see, does your plan actually work, right? If you have specific entry requirements, does it actually work? You have to have data. You have to have backtesting data, right? See data like this. Look, this is data, right? You need to collect stuff like this. Interesting, these candles closing from the bottom of the range. Only issue is here, the range is only 10 pips. Is it worth your time? It's only worth your time if it breaks the range, but that's not guaranteed. Right, it's not guaranteed to break the range. So you have to, 1 hour is closing, but you're buying a bearish candle here, hoping that it would break the range. But the range is very small, right? 10 pip range. Less than 10 pip. Yeah, 12 pip from where we are right now. Right, we're basically ranging very slowly here. You can see, just ranging. Pulls back, pushes up. This is a nice push right now. You know? I try strategies that others seem to have success, but every time I try to execute it doesn't work. Well, maybe they're not being truthful about their success in the strategy. Right? If you follow a good plan, a well thought out strategy, it should work, right? So be sure to follow people with good strategies that are proven to work. It's very important. And make sure you're backtesting it right? You have to be backtesting it correctly. You have to be doing everything right at the same time. How do I know? They have to show you data. Like in my videos where I show you that this actually works, right? I have data right here, look, in front of you right now. Look at this. This is data. This is proven its work. Check my backtesting videos. If they don't show you this, then you can't prove anything. If they're just on YouTube talking to you about something, they can't prove anything. They have to show you all of this. They have to prove that it works. Foray watching right now. Please give a like to stream. Those who need. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, we're popping up right now to the top of the range. As I said, there was an opportunity to trust this range, but I could trade just above it, right? And get bigger volume moves here. Any thoughts on adding to winning trades? Adding to winning trades is a new trade. Just understand that. Every time you add to a winning trade, it becomes a new trade because it's a new position. It's kind of hard to use strict rules. You have to have multiple setups, right? Setups that allow you to enter in all different circumstances. And also, you don't have to have many trades, right? If you get a few trades right, it pays off long term. Alright, pushing up nicely. Hopefully we can get now the respect of this zone and the break out of the range, right? If we break outside of this range, start to close above and respect it, I think we can find ourselves giving a nice push towards the top side and we'll be able to take trades, right? So I think that's going to be the plan, right? That's going to be the plan. Keep getting called by this delivery guy. Leave him alone. Yeah, so the plan is if we close above here and create support, this is going to give us an option to take buys towards the upside, right? Exactly, right? So closing above here, we just have to worry about the gap at 900 and see what price does, kind of around 900. And yeah, we'll take it from there. I hesitate to execute the trade when it's in the market moves. I feel FOMO and chasing price usually too late and take a loss. Any advice? You have to trust your plan and follow your plan. Right? What does your plan say? If the rules don't follow your plan, then if the trade doesn't follow your plan, then you haven't missed anything because it was not in your plan. Like if your plan, let's say today the 1 hour closed bearish and your plan is not to buy a 1 hour bearish candle, then it doesn't follow your plan. You haven't missed anything. Right? You know, I've seen this before on GJ. I've seen this break this 1 hour high here and start pushing heavy, right? Once we break this 1 hour high. I've seen this happen before. But I would like to see a close first. I would like to see a close above and then for it to respect the zone. Problem is stops. What's stops gonna be now? 26 pips. 16 pip. How many trades do you take a day to combat emotional decisions? Only stick to maximum of 3 trades a day. And after you take 2 losses, call it a day. Obviously something went wrong. Go, relax, come back fresh the next day. Don't chase the losses. Just trade like they never happened. Some resistance on the 15 if we break above. Yeah, there is resistance, but I'm saying I need to see support above, right? If I see support, I can take buys. Right? If support forms above, I can take buys. If we close and it's next to volume time, what I would like to see is I would like to see us reject right here. Reject, come back, then close above, and then that will be really easy buys towards the upside. Super easy. And yeah, that's going to be the plan. So I'm probably going to wrap this up now. Short one today. We need to wait for the things to happen. From the 26th, the streams are going to be a lot earlier. So be sure to show up, and we'll probably get more trades on stream actually. by then. I would not be surprised. We'd probably get more trades on stream, which will be nice. But for now, we need either this to pull back here. Close above would be nice to continue bullish. Or we need it to close above, show us it respects it. Not something like this, right? Not the rejection we saw here. Reject, come down. That's not what we want to see. So yeah. Probably stick around for a little bit more. So let me know in the chat if the plan is clear, guys, if you're happy with the plan, right? Plan is clear, let me know in the chat. And if that's the case, then we can get on with everything. So I'll catch you guys in the group. Make sure you join the group, all right? Yeah, trade demo, man. You should start trading demo first. Get confident on demo, then look to do that. If you're new to the stream, make sure to join up on future streams so you can catch what we're doing. And yeah, it seems like you guys understand the plan, and I'll be active in the group so you guys can join there. I'll let you know what I take, and probably today I'll give you guys a gift, and if I'm about to take a position, I'll let you know in the group. All right. You guys can have that today. And yeah, with that being said, take care, and I'll catch you very soon. Have a good weekend all. It is weekend, so I'll catch you from next week hopefully. And yeah, enjoy. That being said, peace.